Breaking news! A dead body was found at approximately 11:15 Thursday night in Kingston, Oklahoma. The police arrived on the scene later that next day at around 3:50 p.m., breaking the record for Oklahoma's slowest crime scene technicians. Marky Munsten, the 50-year-old son of Mr. and Mrs. Munsten, was last seen alive at 10 to 11 a.m. on Thursday. His body was found later that night. The perpetrator is still unknown, but police are continuing to investigate. Warning: viewer discretion is advised, as graphic images will be shown. Here with us now is Jonathan from the Fly Guys. Their team consists of Ethan, Ryan, Michael, and Jonathan. These gentlemen have taken lead roles as forensic entomologists, first responders, medical examiners, and terrible crime scene technicians. Here's Jonathan now.
Okay, what's up, Michael? How's it going? So, what we discovered at the scene approximately at 3:50 p.m. on Friday was we immediately recognized the scene as just gruesome, So the victim was surrounded, you can kind of see like trees, poison ivy, bugs and insects all over the place. So the surroundings included like a pink trike and a paint thinner seen to the north of the body. Gasoline, paint, wood was all over the benches, as you can see. And then the head of the body appeared to be crushed by the front part of the wheel. So if we're taking a look at it like vertically like this, you would see the huge car, and then all you could see was the head sticking out, and then just blood, flies, everything. So it was a gruesome scene, especially for the community that was witnessing this. So the victim was wearing a gray t-shirt, blue shorts, the body was completely fresh. From my team's reports that we have here, we noted that the delivery guy, Mr. Munsten, worked for the company for 20 years, for what the victims had said. And we noticed that the maggots, when we were doing our initial investigations, were heavily colonized around the face, the anus and the armpits. So these are the areas that are wet, that are underneath there, that are easily accessible to like egg laying, especially for flies, certain species of flies. So as entomologists, we had to, take into account certain regions of the body, and then from there, it gave us a little indication of the possible like traumatic injuries that took place, and what appeared to be, rust from the metal gate on the left hip of this victim could have been a potential injury. So like I said, witnesses were at the scene, and there was shaving cream, candy, spray paint. There was a lot of, just evidence all over the place. And as the victims were saying, it was just a very confusing and chaotic scene, especially when we first initially got there. So the weather was maybe not the best. It was kind of a little bit, maybe cloudy, the bushes, everything was moist. So it was not the best conditions, but as you will see later that in the videos, that there was multiple types of evidence that we could take from this. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you. Speaking of witnesses, we have several of them on video now, so let's take a look at those.
Maybe because somebody ran him over, smarty pants.
I don't like the police!
Hey.
Even I know better than that, and I have dementia.
Believe it or not, some competent things were said. Off-video witnesses attested to several crucial pieces of information. Myself and Ethan were there at the scene of the crime interviewing witnesses. For instance, Marky Munsten, brother of Marky Munsten, was the first to find the body after his brother did not answer his calls. The last time Marky saw his brother was earlier that morning when his brother went to work. Later that night, when he wasn't returning home at his usual 9:30 time, Marky went out looking for his brother. Upon finding the body, Marky waited about 15 minutes to call the police because that's what any logical person would do. He noted that at that time, mind you, 9:30 p.m. at the evening, many random people were just taking their evening strolls through the woods and came upon the body to investigate the situation, although he could not identify who anyone was. He noted that his relationship with his brother was pretty good and that there would be no motivation as to why he would want to murder his brother.
First responding officers were able to talk to the head of the cookie company, and we determined that the murder weapon used, the car used to run over Maxie, was actually the delivery truck for the Heartland Cookie Company. And guess who the driver was? None other than Maxie himself. The head of the company would later tell us that she much preferred Maxie to Marky, which is quite interesting because as the interview concluded, all she could get out was that she was really upset by the fact that he was unable to complete his deliveries on time. Finally, a fellow coworker of Maxie's, Vicky Valentine, was able to be interviewed on the scene as well. She claimed that she was with Marky and they both came looking for Maxie together. Although she stated that she came to look for him around 3 p.m. on Thursday, she claimed that it was against the law for the police to want to know where she was and what she was doing in relation to the murder that had taken place right in front of her. She didn't want to answer any further questions, and so we were unable to ascertain any more information. Okay, on to you, Michael.
Anyways, that concludes this evening's segment on this shocking discovery. We will continue to update you with new information as the Fly Guys continue to obtain it. As for our camera crew, statisticians, and all of us here at News Channel 435, 394, I'm Michael Burkhart, and good night. Stay safe out there.